Okay, good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, May 25th, 2022, and we are holding a webinar titled Solving Water Together, Careers That Make a Splash. Really excited to get into and dive deep into the careers of many of our panelists today. It's going to be super exciting. And this is through EarthEcho International. My name is Iris Vanderveen. I'm a senior water challenge ambassador. I attend the University of South Florida and I am 19 years old.
Hi, I'm Raquel. I'm from Barcelona.
Did anybody else hear the last part? I'm so sorry, it cut out at the end. But this is my wonderful co-host Raquel. She's from Barcelona, Spain, and she's also a water challenge ambassador, and we're super happy to have her today. So just a little bit about EarthEcho. EarthEcho International is a nonprofit organization that is founded on the belief that youth have the power to change our planet. Over the years, we have reached over 2 million people and contacted or been around 146 countries. So the main focus is with different programs that are usually youth-led, and we, in truth, try really hard to give youth a voice in issues that are global. So that's.
Hi. Hi, I'm Alex Wells, and I'm a client services manager for Xylem. Pure Technologies, a division of Xylem. And for those of you wondering, my background is a pipe, and that's what Pure Technologies, that's what we specialize in, is assessing underground infrastructure. So thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. Here's our next guest speaker.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon to all. Yeah, my name is Lankesh Kumar. Okay, I'm working with Xylem Water Solutions as a manager QA/QC, and I'm based in India, and my working place is Vadodara, and I'm responsible for localization of UV products and as well as the smart irrigation team. I'm working for the quality analysis and quality control. And as seen my background, that is then Iduron, that is a UV system, that is a tertiary treatment, which we do for the sewage water systems, sewage water treatment.
That's awesome, thank you. And here's our last guest speaker.
Hi, everybody. My name is Amanda Horn. I am from Canada. However, I'm currently in Bali, Indonesia. I am the founder of my own company, Lola's Blue Beauty, which I'm super excited to talk to you today, as it is definitely related to our topic of water and water conservation. But I am currently here in Bali doing my scuba dive master training and working as an ocean conservation intern with a group called the Indo-Ocean Project. So I'm really excited to be here amongst the other panelists and have a great discussion today.
How exciting. All right. Was the screen? Oh, there we go. Okay. So we can start a Q&A, right, for each of our panelists. And we have some questions written, but feel free to write some questions in the chat if you have any. So our first question is, what inspired you to pursue a career in your field? Does anybody want to go first?
Absolutely, I'll start. So I'm really thrilled that where I'm at right now in my career, I've been able to combine something that somebody taught me was that you'll know you're doing the right thing when your passion, your purpose, and your proficiencies or your skills are in alignment. And I have always loved water. I spent my summers with my family up on the lake. That's me skating on our lake in the winter. I found cold plunging and ice baths during the pandemic, like a lot of people, and I've been a scuba diver for the last 6 or 7 years or so. So I've been able to, in the pandemic, I did a lot of reflection like a lot of people, and found that something that I was really passionate about outside of what I was doing in my job as a marketer was water. And I started to look for some other opportunities and how I could potentially make that my greater purpose and feel like I was connected to something bigger. And I'm really pleased that I have been able to do that. So where I'm at now, as I said, is I'm actually in Bali. I'm here for the next 6 months, pursuing my scuba dive master training. So really excited that I get to learn now to be a scuba dive instructor and a guide and take people down under the sea and show them what they're missing or share my love for the ocean as well. This video, actually, so part of the project that I'm on, as I mentioned, is conservation is a large part of it. So in educating on our Earth's most precious resource, the ocean, a lot of what we're doing has to do with data collection and research alongside marine biologists for sharks, manta rays, and sea turtles. So this video I actually took just a few days ago. We were at a dive site called Manta Point, which is actually a cleaning station where a lot of manta rays come through, and you can see them often getting cleaned and how those marine ecosystems work all together. So they're super neat. One of the projects that we're doing is we're IDing them. So just like us with our fingerprints, manta rays have a unique fingerprint of sorts on their belly. So as best we can, we try to keep our distance about 3 meters, but let them swim over top of us so that we can try and take a picture. And we send that into a database so we can track their migration patterns. If that manta ray has never been seen before, we get to name it, and it gets entered into the database so we can track where they go all over the world.
Wow, that's awesome. Can I ask about the cleaning station? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's part of when like fish, they just instinctively know to work together and what kinds of other fish work well with other ones. So it is a super popular site. It's this little cove on a sloping reef where there are just swarms of these beautiful manta rays. And there are all these little tiny cleaning fish that you can see. So if manta rays are swimming through there, they've been eating some of these fish, try and tag on. But it's really beautiful to see those different species working together and living in harmony.
That's awesome. Does anybody else want to make a point or have anything else to say? We can revisit the question. Okay, we'll move to the next question. What is the coolest thing about your job? Does anybody want to go first?
I guess I can take this one. I think one of the coolest things about my job is that no two days are the same. I started out in consulting, and as I said, now I'm with Pure, and no two projects are the same. You're meeting a lot of different people, but the best part of what we do is that I think we're all working towards a better world and a better life, and being able to be around people who kind of have a common goal of making life better for everybody around us is really like one of the coolest things. I mean, in my current job, I've gotten to be inside spaces that never in a million years would I have dreamt of, kind of crawling through a pipe and seeing what that's like. But again, just the fact that every day is different, I get to solve problems, and I get to use my that which I learned in university, along with all the everybody else is working collaboratively with my team members, and being able to figure out what's going on is probably most definitely like the best part of what I do. And as I said, making a difference in the world around us.
I love that you made the connection between all of us, that we're all after the same goal. I think that's so important when we have these kinds of conversations. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think that, when you're younger and you're thinking about it, I don't think that, sometimes a career in water or, wastewater doesn't, seem to be sexy or something that you look forward to, but it really is so gratifying to work with others, as I said, kind of towards the common goal of making life better for everybody around us.
Yeah. I took an environmental science lab class recently, and we had to visit a wastewater treatment. And the whole time I was thinking that, like, I can't believe in 19 years I didn't know all this kind of stuff. And so I feel like it should be a mandatory class for everybody who attends college. You know, like that's
Yeah.
something that's so important and trivial to like our way of life, and yet like nobody knows too much about it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's something you don't give much thought to yet, without water, clean water, or without wastewater treatment, life as you know it wouldn't be able to happen. So, definitely always essential.
Yes, very true. All right, and so on to our last question, I believe. What paths led you to be where you are today?
I started my career in the automobile industries, and I shifted to hydraulics. Like as in my school days, I was like, I didn't have any path to move to which industries and to grow my career. I finished my graduation and I started my career with the automobile industries, and then moved on to the hydraulic industries. And then I made my mind to change from the hydraulics and automobile to the water industries when I got an offer from the Xylem, and I saw the motto of the Xylem that let's solve water. Since I am from the agriculture background, like my ancestors and my grandfather were into the agriculture field, I knew what are the difficulties they were facing. Like all the crops were dependent on monsoon dependence, and there was uneven distribution of water and rainfall patterns, and there was water scarcity. And I came to know that Xylem has every solution for for growing crops and for utilizing the water in a better way. And I came to know what are the facilities that Xylem has been providing. And based on that, I made a study and I became as a connecting bridge as from the Xylem with the farmers, like the agriculture fields where the peoples were doing their farm. Like Xylem has helped keeping the crops growing in any monsoon areas. Like it ensures productive farming, and it ensures it reduces the human interventions. As I showed in the previous slide, that many manpower should be utilized, and now the manpower what we get is very less. So it reduced the human interventions, and water conservation was there, and real-time monitoring and controlling system has been adopted, and also the outlet management systems, which helps in improving the agriculture field in a better way as the economy of the India has grown in a better manner. So that path, now I choose my path to move forward in the water industry. Like serving people, it helps to me, like before how it was, and now after the Xylem has made some improvements and technologies which are used, we can see how the land has been developed, like paddy fields where it shows evergreen always. And there will be again in the second video, we can notice the smart irrigation system, the sprinkling of water, where water is not being it's not being misused, or that water can be utilized for a better way, so that no water scarcity will be there. And I'm getting more job satisfaction being with working with Xylem, and with the more interaction with the farmers of India.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing.
I guess this is me, right? So my path into the water industry was kind of an interesting one. I spent some time studying abroad in Europe, in Portugal, when I was younger, and I had a teacher, a high school teacher who really kind of opened my eyes up to what, what the environment is and, our impact on it. And so for the teachers out there, know that you influence lives and know that you really kind of really do open up minds. I went to Stevens Institute of Technology in Hoboken for my undergraduate degrees, and actually got a degree in a Bachelor of Engineering in Environmental Engineering, and I actually got a Bachelor of Arts in English Literature and a Master's in Construction Management. The English has actually come in very handy because I have to write a lot of reports. As far as what I feel passionate about, I want to make a better world for my son. And I want to know that, his future is ensured, and that, I'm teaching him that you can be productive and you can do well in life and still do something that's better for the world and make it a better place. I enjoy water activities. And knowing that, we can also help with water equity, not only in the United States, but throughout the world. And I've been heavily involved with the American Waterworks Association. And part of what I really feel passionate about is making the world aware that, water professionals, wastewater professionals, environmental professionals are essential now and essential always. During the pandemic, I know that, doctors and, nurses, and rightfully so, got a lot of attention, but it's important to know that without us, you wouldn't be able to wash your hands or be able to continue on and live life the way that you're supposed to.
That's very understandable. I like how we've all come from different parts of the world, but mainly we are all talking about sustainability. And that really leads into the next question on how does your work contribute to the sustainable future? So we can start with Amanda, if that's okay.
Absolutely. So one of the things that kind of led me to where I'm at now is I've always been very creative and trying to find a way to be able to use that as a way to solve problems and a way to communicate out real world issues with the world. So my new business was really inspired by the human ocean connection. And I've been pondering this product for quite a few years, or this brand really, and I am a brand marketer by my background. But really, as I started to look at what kind of impact could I create through building a purposeful brand, as far as my non-linear career has gone. And so I started to think about, here we are as humans and our everyday actions really do impact the ocean. And I live in Canada, I'm right in the middle. So the ocean is on either end of the country. So I'm still really far away from it. But at the end of the day, if you just think about all the products that you've got in your bathroom on your counter, a lot of those, you're washing them down the drain. If they end up on your skin, those ultimately end up polluting our water systems. And then the way that we take care, or lack of taking care, of the end of life of our products creates a lot more plastic pollution. And all of that ends up back in the ocean. So my goal was to create something that would start a conversation around the importance of conserving water and reducing our impact on the ocean. So onto the next slide, which we start to look at trends and where the health and wellness and beauty industries are going. The beauty industry is notorious for over-consuming water when it comes to manufacturing products. If you're looking at the products that are on your bathroom counter, water is almost the first ingredient in a lot of them. And so waterless is really this next wave in health and beauty, and people are becoming a lot more conscious to it, whether they're brand owners or manufacturers themselves. But the more exciting thing is that consumers are also open as well. So how can we have low impact products that are better for the environment and better for us? So the first one that I'm really excited to bring to market is going to be a waterless shave gel. So all those times that you're out running around, traveling, camping, you don't have access to water, and you think to yourself, oh shoot, I missed a spot while I was shaving, you're able to shave without needing a shower, without needing to rinse. So, promoting more dry shaving, but in a really soothing and premium way. So the goal of lowless, and low is water in French, which I guess translates to waterless. I like to make up words, but ultimately we want to promote that you're using less water, you're using less plastic, and creating less waste. So really excited to partner with some organizations and use upcycled ocean plastic to create our packaging and the razors that will accompany the product.
That's amazing. I really like how it's not only about plastic pollution, but also about water conservation. Like that's just, wow. I'm so excited. And just like the beauty industry aspect of it as well. I love the fact today that everybody has a different story to tell. This is like so exciting. Okay, so after that, could we also hear from Lankesh, please?
Yeah, this is what a Xylem smart industrial infrastructure, which says about how the smart systems, smart technologies is used by Xylem, like in the smart irrigation, as well as the smart utilities of communications and smart energies. Like they helps in the smart irrigation infrastructures, as I said, like it develops to reduce the human interactions. That Xylem reduces the need of human interaction by automatically controlling the water displaced to the field. As you'll be seeing in this slide, that it depends on the sewage water treatment process where it's going on, where it helps for the to get the better good quality of water which is required for our daily life. And the real-time monitoring and controlling is being done, like customer to monitor and control the entire irrigation systems for real-time data received at the central monitoring systems. And outlet management systems, as we see that they supply the manage water rotations with flow and pressure regulatories of valves. Like when there is a leakage or surge detections, that will be managed by the pumping management systems, where everything what the leakage is there, that can be avoided, and we can like the water spending of water in a better way. And the irrigation systems are used like the pump water to from the ground to the dry areas. This is especially in focus during dry seasons or periods of droughts. Agriculture productivity also depends on the efficient and reliable irrigation systems, like deep well pumping, like surface water are used when available, and pumps are located in the rivers or lakes so that it helps that the water scarcity will be avoided, and more of the water is utilized in a proper and better manner, and good quality water will be provided to the peoples.
That's, wow, very interesting. I feel like I don't hear too much about agriculture, which is great for today. Question for you though, a little bit about climate change, and I know that it's affecting the dry season. Can you already see the effects of that a little bit today?
Yeah, climate changes will be always recognizing that for each and every crops, when the climate changes, the water scarcity will be developed, and when there is more water entering into the field, in agriculture field, the crops will be damaged or it will be spoiled because of the heavy water or with the less water. So this is avoided by the smart irrigation systems, where the OMS, that is outlet management systems, has been introduced, so that what the quantity of water required for each and every crop, that has been decided, and we can operate like that. We cannot like previously like we have to go to the field and then operate the system. Whenever we require water, that water should be pumped. Now, being in a home itself, we can control the systems and we can monitor how much water should be required for the each and every field, and that can be by residing in their house, and you can maintain the field in a better way, agriculture field in a better way. And we can see that no crops will be damaged, or like we say that because of heavy rain or less water, these crops has been damaged and these crops cannot be cultivated. And that is avoided because of these outlet management systems.
That's ingenious, honestly. Great work. Okay, so the next question is going to be, is there any technology that you use on the job? And we're going to start asking for Alex.
Yeah, we employ various forms of technology. We have something called Sahara, which is the upper picture there, and that's kind of a tethered technology that uses both a camera, and we look for air and gas pockets as well as leaks. So it helps with sustainability and looking for looking for that kind of technology, and it also helps us map what's underground. We have something called Smart Ball, and what that does, it's an inline acoustical tool that rolls with the flow so the pipeline can remain in service. And what we're looking for are gas pockets or leaks, and it also helps us with some of the mapping for the pipeline. And the cool thing about it is we don't have to take the pipeline out of service, so the pipeline can stay in service. These are all NSF certified products, so they're not damaging the water quality or hurting the water quality in any way. And finally, underneath we have something called the pipe diver, and what the pipe diver does, it actually looks for damage. So the Smart Ball is more of a screening tool, so we're looking for leaks and gas pockets, but then the actual pipe diver finds damage within the actual pipe. So what we're doing is we're being sustainable by only repairing or replacing the portions of the pipeline that need to be replaced so that it can continue to be in service. And again, when we look for leaks, we're helping to conserve water. So those are just some of the tools. We have robotic tools. And then, as I mentioned before, we sometimes do in-person kind of inspections as well.
Right.
So the human tool as we go in and we look at things ourselves.
Nice. Okay, so for our next question, we're going to ask, what is one of the biggest challenges in your field at the moment? We're going to start with Lankesh, and then we'll move on to Amanda. Oh, I think you might be muted. Lankesh, I think you're muted. There we go.
Yeah. Okay. Like the biggest challenges what we are facing, like public awareness first is, and we should have to manage them, give them the water, what is the water value, and enhance the knowledge with the government officials so that they have an idea to allocate the projects for having clean drinking water throughout India. As I shown in the slide, this is what what I said. This is IDRON. This is like wastewater disinfection of wastewater, water reuse or aquaculture or storm water overflows. This is a modular system, customized design, serving flow rates from 500 meter cube to several thousands meter cube per hour. This is a high efficiency eco-ray UV lamp and ballast technology. Instead of chlorinations, the UV lamp radiations is used so that we get chemical free or automatic and chemical free water. Like if they use the chlorinations, there will be some chemicals which deactivates the DNA and it may affects our human body. So this is the high efficiency eco ray UV lamp we are using, and the ballast technologies is been provided here. And this is the integrated automatic module lifting technology. And as I said in the previous one, the outlet management systems. As I shown, this is the outlet management systems, which manages water rotation with flow and pressure regulates and the valves. And since I am in a QA position, I'll be ensuring the quality products reaches to the customer, since it is a water related product where it is more attached to the people's satisfaction and as well as needy.
Very good point. And next, Amanda, what is one of the biggest challenges in your field at the moment?
Yeah, so I would say the biggest thing is, like I said, like I'm so far from the ocean, as a lot of people are. If you don't necessarily live in a coastal community, you don't necessarily think or see the impact of, plastic floating around. If you're not living in a water scarce region, sorry. Everything we do, we use water. You put your feet on the floor in the morning. As soon as you get out of bed, you grab a drink, you flush the toilet, you get in the shower, you wash your hands, whatever it is that you're doing. If you don't have access to clean, safe drinking water, you really can't sustain that. So, or life on Earth. So we have to do as much as we can. So one of the other projects that we work on is something called Divers Against Debris. So we actively go out once a week. Maybe more every time we see ocean plastic floating in the ocean, we bring bags with us, but we do a dedicated dive against debris where we actively go out and remove trash and plastic, and we find all kinds of things. There's glass bottles and roofing and car parts and all kinds of odd things, clothing that you wouldn't think that you would find. So it's upsetting to see so much of it, and now it's very present in my life because I'm here and underwater all the time. So I feel a lot more connected to the issue, which makes me excited to continue to move forward with the work that we're doing with LOLIS to continue to educate people on that impact of ocean plastic, and also the importance of conserving our water resources.
That's great. Yeah, it really does just go hand in hand. For our next question, I'm going to ask, what are the common misconceptions people have about the water industry? And this question is directed towards Alex.
I think people don't know enough about the water industry, and as I said, they kind of take it for granted, and they turn their tap on and that it comes out, and when it doesn't, that's the only time we ever really hear about it. Or when something negative happens, it's not boring, and there's a place in the industry for everybody. I mean, not only engineers, but we're looking for scientists and operators and educators, and we need accountants, and we need we need a little bit of everything in the water industry. And I think one of the other things that people don't think about is if you are in water, wastewater, or dealing with any kind of water, really the one water concept, there's a lot of job security. You're going to be, you're insured. We're always going to need water, and it's the one resource we really can't live without. And so I think it's just knowing that it is, it's versatile, and that you can really do almost anything that you're passionate about. You can kind of take back and bring water into it. So I think that's kind of the biggest misconception there is about it. We're not just all like kind of sitting in a lab and working on stuff. So
that's a great point. I think that's what these webinars are about too, just like showing people that there's a place for everyone everywhere. As long as you want one, it can make it happen. So that's great. For our last question, we have a video.
Sorry, this was just a little general thing we put together in terms of these.
And I'm proud to be a water professional.
I'm Anna Santino. I'm proud to be a water professional.
I'm Joe Bella. I'm proud to be a water professional.
I'm Kareem Adeem. I'm proud to be a water professional.
My name is Alan Welland, and I'm proud to be a water professional. Hi, I'm Hadel Mystery.
I'm Sophia Hain. I'm proud to be a water professional.
I'm Jim LaGrossa.
I'm Stephanie Holden.
I'm Sylvania Mercado, and I'm proud to be a water professional.
Hey everybody, Governor Phil Murphy here. I know I couldn't do my job without water. So thank you, water professionals. You are essential now, essential always.
And that just proves the connection that everybody has a role. So for our last question, we're going to ask all of our panelists, what is the #1 way we can make a difference as students? And whoever would like to go first, feel free.
Yeah, absolutely. So go diving. I remember when I was in grade 2, our teacher asked us to write a letter to the Prime Minister about saving the rainforest. And I just remember thinking that I'm one person, I'm so small, like how is my letter or anything I do going to make a difference? But the truth is that you really can. So I guess the important thing right now is you're figuring out your path, and what makes sense for you is find something that you're really passionate about, and don't let that go. Those things that really excite you, they are the things that you're meant to work through. So yeah, and spend as much time as you can to start to appreciate water more, spend time in it, on it, near, and ask a lot of questions, find a great mentor, and just get involved and speak up.
I love that. And the go diving, yes. I think a lot of people really would love to, but getting a dive license is like not a scary thing, but like a big step that you'd have to take in order to like.
It is, and you absolutely, the biggest thing about it is learning to be a safe and responsible diver. So when you do it, make sure that you do go through one of the registered bodies, so through either PADI or SSI, but there's a lot. You can start really young as well, and then it's something that you can carry with you. And the people that I've met through scuba diving, like so many people all over the world, it's really exciting to hear other people's and exchange stories and just love the ocean all together.
Exactly. All right, who would like to go next?
Yeah, I mean, just get involved, find out where you get your water from and find out what happens to your wastewater when you flush it. Reach out to, organizations like EarthEcho, AWWA, WEF, or ASCE. And there are a lot of free student resources out there for you. Look for mentoring opportunities. Don't be afraid to ask questions. And, you don't even have to work in the water industry to be involved in the water industry. I mean, you're the main consumer. You're the reason we do this work, and you need to advocate for yourself and, and for your community. So I just urge you to find out more and learn about what's happening right around you. And again, where do you get your water from?
Very good point. I like that you both mentioned mentoring. That's like the fact that 2 people in the same panel would do the same thing. That just proves it's a good point.
I wouldn't be where I was now if I didn't have great mentors throughout my entire career. So
likewise, and advice I was also given was find a mentor for yourself and then be somebody else's mentor. So that's something that you definitely want to carry forward with you, because it always comes back around full circle.
Absolutely.
I love that. All right, Lankesh, you're up next.
Yeah, in my view, like as that save water whenever it's possible. Educate to change the consumption and lifestyles. And advanced technology related to water conservations. Like develop some technologies so that it improves the irrigation and as well as the agriculture practices. And develop energy efficient desalinations plants and improve the water catchments and harvesting. Like I have been doing my research work based on the waste heat to electricity. This is what I am pursuing now for my PhD work and as well as the research. And it has been like successful by like I have done my research on that, like waste heat, what is the heat which is being produced? That waste heat should be converted to electricity. And this is what new technology will be adopted, like while we are cooking or while we are using our stoves, we can also light our LED bulb. The same technologies will be involved in the pumps, so that the same what the heat produced in the pumps also, that energy heat will be converted to electricity, so that we can save the electricity in a better way. So that the same way we require the water should be used, like save water and use the water when it is beneficial.
Very true. Does anybody else in the audience have any questions for our panelists? By any chance? If not, that's okay. You know, we've heard a good portion of things, which I think is exciting. Do any of the panelists have any other notes or anecdotes or anything they want to add for the session or for our viewers? It is also okay if not. Oh, cool. We do have a question. Okay, so in the chat, Jessica Coker asks, what type of degrees are needed for your field? So whoever wants to answer first, go right ahead.
I know I have an engineering degree, and a lot of the people I work with on the, I guess, more technical side have engineering degrees. We do have a couple of scientists and stuff. As mentioned, though, I do, work with within the field. I have people working in marketing. I have people working in, on the accounting side. I have people working with all sorts of degrees. So it really just kind of depends on the specific type of work you want to do. If it's technical, then more often than not, it's an engineering or a science degree. But again, you can work in the field and have a different type of degree.
Yeah, I'll answer that one as well. Thank you, Alex. I am a marketer by my background. I have a background in marketing and in communications. I started off in political science, which about 15 years ago, which is funny now that this has essentially come full circle, because a lot of the work we do with reporting is writing reports and getting the resources and funding that we need from the government to sustain these resources. But I've also never considered myself a science person. But it's neat how I found, like, obviously science is all around us, and through different jobs and different industries that I've been part of, it is the science that connects everything that I am really excited and have discovered a lot about myself through. So even coming onto this dive project, I'm working with marine biologists and dive scientists every day. And I don't have a marine biology or a science background, but my value comes from my design, marketing, and creativity to be able to help them communicate out the great work that they're doing. And it is something that is so misunderstood. So it's really cool that I get to take something that's really complex and then educate people on it on a little bit of a simpler way. And as an entrepreneur, and if you're inspired and you have that kind of a personality, there's a problem that you encounter every day, or that you see something that needs to be solved, that just takes, your grace and your grit to go after it. So if you are constantly encountering something, you think that you have that entrepreneurial bug, there's no degree needed for that. So just go after whatever it is that you think you might want to do.
Yeah, I mean, just to touch on what Amanda said, I think if you're passionate about something, pursue it. And it is a collaborative effort. I mean, as engineers, we need people like Amanda who can communicate, and we need her to get our message out and how to do our thing and, what we're trying to do. So I think, it's not so much the degree, again, unless it's super technical, that, you need the science or the engineering degree. Otherwise, I think anybody can really, I know that anybody can get involved and do stuff. Because one of our guys, he started out as a psychology major, and he eventually actually ended up getting an engineering degree because he found that he liked it, but that wasn't his original path. So.
Right. And I'm sure that everybody learns a lot from their experiences as well. Like you were talking about, a lot of the people you dive with are marine scientists, but just because they have a degree in marine science doesn't mean you both don't know a lot about diving, because you've done it before. And I'm sure you learn all about the ocean and the animals and organisms and everything else in between. So I think these are great points. Lankesh, do you have anything else to add?
The degree doesn't matter Like if you are in the engineering field, like the implementations in technology helps more when you are in engineering. Like if you have a background of science, that helps you like to develop a new technologies which will the uh, help the nation in a better way. That's it.
Thank you. All right. Anybody else have any questions? If not, I think this concludes our webinar. We would like to thank Xylem for sponsoring this webinar and EarthEcho a lot of times, the Water Challenge. And we would like to encourage you all to connect with us on social media. It's usually at EarthEcho, something along those lines. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, email, all of the above. And we would also like to encourage you, if you have any other questions for panelists or something, feel free to ask them. You can email them in the chat or something along those lines. But yeah, it was great. It was great talking with everybody today. We're so happy that you joined and we got to meet everybody. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for hosting.